Welcome to the Hill and Light podcast family. I'm your host, Natasha, with my sister, Namaste Shay. Shay, say hello to the people.
Hello, everyone.
Awesome. So, today on episode 3, we're going to be covering characteristics of attachment style. Shay, what do you think about today's topic?
I think it's going to be super cool to discuss further the attachment theory so we'll be able to tie in everything we went over last week. It'll give you more insight and clarity on the attachment theory and traits and signs to look out for. So I think it's going to be pretty cool.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, I think it's going to shed a lot of light for a lot of people to be able to address individuals differently and themselves as well. So I'm going to go ahead and pass it back to Shay. She's going to go ahead and dig into the attachment styles a little bit differently, the characteristics.
Thank you, sis. I'm so glad all of you could join us today. I hope everyone is doing well. Super excited for episode 3, characteristics of attachment style. So in last week's podcast, we discussed attachment theory and the 4 different attachment styles. So now that we're familiar with what attachment theory is, on today's podcast, we'll give you 5 signs displayed by each attachment style. Okay, so beautiful. Let's dive right in, starting with the secure attachment style. 5 signs of a secure attachment style person. Sign number 1, they want emotional intimacy. This will show up as they want to feel close, connected, they show empathy, and they're emotionally available and responsive. Beautiful traits. Let's move on to sign number 2. They recover quickly from negative experiences, and this shows up as them not dwelling on things, holding grudges, but simply removing themselves if they feel they're in an unhealthy situation. Sign number 3. They have boundaries and respect yours. So this shows up as open communication, being transparent with their feelings, and understanding of your needs as well. Sign number 4. They are very authentic and naturally themselves. So this will show up as healthy self-esteem, confidence, and not trying to overcompensate. And sign number 5, they show empathy. This shows up as compassion and understanding, and they're generally happy people, so they respect and love you and themselves. So, sis, what are your thoughts? Do you identify with any of these traits? Do you notice people around you possessing these traits? What do you think?
Absolutely. I would say both. And secure is the best trait to have. And it's also the best type of people to be around, the best friends to have, the best partner to have. And at the end of the day, that's what we're all aiming to be.
Right, I totally agree. So next we have 5 signs of a anxious attached style person. Sign number 1, they need a lot of reassurance in relationships, and this might show up as a constant need for affection, validation seeking, or being extremely needy. Sign number 2, they have a strong fear of being rejected, criticized, or abandoned. So this may show up as pushing others away to avoid rejection, being controlling, or extra sensitive to criticism. Sign number 3, they have low self-esteem. So this will show up as little to no self-confidence, no self-love, and they're very down or hard on themselves. Sign number 4, people-pleasing. This shows up as giving too much in relationships or always apologizing unnecessarily, and they're not assertive. And sign number 5, they have a strong desire for relationship and a hard time being alone. So this will show up as rebound relationships or staying in toxic relationships, and they also display strong codependency vibes. So if you're the anxious style or dating one, they crave intimacy and are often preoccupied with their relationships. They tend to worry about their partner's ability to love them back. So give them reassurance that you do love them, and then discuss a game plan for the future, like counseling, maybe more time together, or whatever you think will work for your connection. So, sis, what are your thoughts? What do you think about these traits?
I agree. I agree. And I believe, addressing this type of person with compassion will help them begin with their healing, basically, and overcome their fears.
Agreed. So next we're going to go to the disorganized, fearful attachment style person. And you might hear this one referred to as fearful attachment or disorganized. They're one and the same. So here are 5 signs of the disorganized, fearful attachment style person. Sign number 1, they want connection, but they fear connection. So this will show up as emotional walls, as protection. They're not being vulnerable, or they're hiding or withholding their feelings. Sign number 2, they prefer casual relationships. So this shows up as they'll let you in, but they won't let you get too close. They're commitment shy, or they're totally commitment avoidant altogether. Sign number 3, they're uncomfortable with deep emotions. So this shows up as avoiding emotional conversations or any type of emotional conflict or anything that has to do with strong emotional matters. Sign number 4, they have a tendency to seek out faults in their partners or their friends so they can have an excuse to leave the relationship. So this shows up as picking petty fights, blowing small things out of proportion, or blaming all their faults on their partner in the relationship. And sign number 5, they'll display a mixture of both dismissive and anxious attachment style traits combined. So if you are the fearful, disorganized style or dating one, they express high emotional conflict about relationships, and they come across confused, and it's because they genuinely are. So allow them the space to process their thoughts, reassure them that they are loved, come back together with a game plan, maybe a 2-hour rest time after arguments, give them more space, less space, or whatever you feel is going to work for your connection. So sis, what are your thoughts? Do you notice these traits in the disorganized, fearful?
Absolutely, absolutely. And I believe making this type of person feel safe in a relationship or friendship, it will help them overcome, and break down the wall that they put up between you and them.
Totally. So next we have 5 signs of a dismissive attachment style person. Sign number 1, they have control issues. So this may show up as a strong fear someone is trying to control them, or anything that would hinder their freedom or their set lifestyle. Sign number 2, they fear commitment. This may appear as refusing to commit altogether, dragging out the dating phase, or creating a lot of space between dates or meetups. Sign number 3, they're extremely independent. So this may show up as the relationship falling in second because they try to keep as much freedom as possible. And they also like to spend a lot of time alone, and intimacy is not their strong point. Sign number 4, they have a hard time resolving conflict. This will show up as a downright refusal to address conflict. They may even walk off and not return for hours or days. And sign number 5, they have a hard time showing emotions. So this may show up as them not trying to save the relationship, them not crying or appearing that they don't care at all. And sometimes they may even express anger as a default emotion. So if you are the dismissive style or dating one, they need time to self-regulate when they feel activated. So give them that time and space, allow them to process their thoughts. Come back together and then discuss a game plan. So that could be maybe a day break after an argument or counseling or whatever you think is going to work for your connection. So sis, your thoughts, you identify with the dismissive traits?
So yeah, I just believe letting this person, walk away and be alone is probably what's going to help them best, since they're such a dismissive person. And just don't take anything personal when interacting with this type of person, because it's not you, it's that person and how they deal with things. So, yeah.
Right. Exactly. So family, those are 5 signs to look out for. Hopefully this helps better understanding the attachment theory. So if you possess these traits, or your loved ones show these traits, then that'll help you to better relate with them. And these unattractive traits, unfortunately, they're all developed as a result of unhealed core wounds. If you're interested on how the core wounds are developed, go check out our last podcast, episode 2, where we dive deeper into that. But yes, family, our unhealed wounds show up in our everyday life, and they're the complete opposite of what we typically desire to build in our connections. So let's let go of that fear Start the healing work today here with us at the Healing Light. And beginning with self-love, these unhealthy attachment types, they can all be changed to secure. What do you think, sis? What do you think about today's show?
Absolutely, I absolutely agree. Once you identify the attachment style and the characteristics, it's going to help you become a better person, and it's going to help you understand how to deal with people around you. And it's a beautiful thing because you won't even be like offended. You know how someone can like offend you and you're like, oh my God, I'm so offended. But it's not even that they're trying to offend you or hurt you. That is them being hurt, and that's the only thing that they know how to express. So once you are able to live through that, it's just you become secure. It's a beautiful thing. It is a beautiful thing. And I just want to thank you again for bringing the attachment style to my life and helping me be able to overcome a lot of my bad issues that I had, and also be able to look at other people in their hurt and their pain and be able to, to try to help them overcome or not make the situation worse than what it has to be by looking at it in a different light.
Oh, you're totally welcome, sis. And I totally agree that the attachment theory, it's where it's at. It's brought so much clarity to my life and helped me so much with just understanding myself and even understanding what I needed to work on to heal and how to better deal with others. And some fun facts: you can actually be a mixture of all four attachment styles. The healthiest style, of course, is secure. And studies also show that the majority of dismissives are men and anxious types are majority women. And also, dismissives and anxious are most likely to be paired together. Secure is most likely to be attached with secure. But secure can also help heal the three other unhealthy types when they're paired in relationships together. So it's just so amazing and mind-blowing. Just glad that I can actually share with everyone. We can share here at the Healing Light. So pretty cool stuff, right, Natasha?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's mind-blowing information, and like you would always say, it's amazing.
It's amazing. All righty, my sister, any final thoughts?
I just would recommend that everyone listening to the podcast just not listen, but take notes and learn the different attachment styles, because it's going to help you in all areas of life.
I agree. And my final thoughts are, I want to thank the universe for this information coming into my life. It's helped me tremendously with better understanding myself and relating better with people. And with that being said, Natasha is now going to present us with tonight's affirmations. Go ahead.
All right,
sis.
cool. So for the people that are not aware of what affirmations are, it's just basically you affirming to yourself, changing your belief system. You're implanting some information into your mind to change the way that you view things. Hundreds of thousands of people around the world do affirmations. I do affirmations multiple times a day. My children even do affirmations because it helps you in your healing, and it also helps you in your self-development and to reprogram your brain. So the first one that we're going to do tonight is I have patience. I have patience. I have patience. And when you have patience with people, you diffuse a conflict and you're able to resolve it thinking in your right mind, because you're not just jumping into anything, but you're having patience. The next one is I do not judge others. I do not judge others. I do not judge others. And the reason why you don't want to judge other people is because you don't know what they have experienced in life, what they are experiencing today, or what they are going through. So you don't want to pass judgment, because your judgment could be wrong and you can treat them in a bad way when they're really hurt and it's nothing personal against you. The last one I want to do is I treat everyone with respect. I treat everyone with respect. I treat everyone with respect, and treating everyone with respect that's what you're going to receive back to you, right? You treat other people the way that you want to be treated, and just treat everyone with love and compassion and understanding, and you'll feel better at the end of the day. And so, on that note, we're going to go ahead and close out. I want to thank everyone for joining us tonight. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And we will see you next week with the Healing Light podcast. Thank you and have a good evening.
Bye.
Bye-bye.